Well, teaching is dead. You buy education. You go there. Yeah, the students tell the professor what they want to hear. And if they don't do that, they're fired. And so, you send your kids to school, like the Hollywood people, they just buy the degree and give the school some money. They name a room after them, but that's how education is. Um, it's terrible. Harvard, academic freedom is very important. Without academic freedom, you can't teach. And Harvard, it's the richest educational facility in the entire planet. And they fired a professor because he said they said something about they criticize Israel. A constructive criticism, but you're not allowed to say anything critical of Israel because it's the donors that tell Harvard what to do. And they say, fire that professor, and they fire, and Harvard can say, we don't need your money. But they can't, they're so greedy, they got to have it all. But that's what academic institutions are supposed to lose money. They're supposed to be always in the red. Here it's a profit-making, now it's a profit-making business. And so you talk about the art of teaching, it's really a discipline. And you're lucky if you get a professor or a teacher that has some sort of art. It can make it art. But for most, it's punitive. You don't do your work, you get beaten. And I make my students work because they know they enjoy doing the research. And, not just doing it, not know why. You follow the textbook. And, it's, they want something like, say, I took this course, so I'm an expert in this. Instead of actually enjoying the course and actually sort of like getting to love the subject. They never touch it again. And so I was known as a professor that give A's. I give everybody an A. Nobody fails by class. Everybody gets an A. And that really upset them. But, and people say, oh, students take a class, you give it an easy A. And I laughed. Why don't you do it too? Oh, but you spend $100,000, $250,000 on a professor who doesn't like you and fail you. You can't charge somebody that kind of money and fail them. You got to give them the damn A. So why make a pretense of it? So there's no one smarter than anyone else. You took the class, you get an A. Period. And a certain impacts positively. There's a college in New York City, and it was free, and not it was a garbage college. I've known people who have been accepted at Cooper Union and Harvard, and they chose Cooper Union. Preschool, started by this industrialist that said people don't make money without a community. So when your role as a rich person is to administer the money, to put it back into the community. And so he saw the key as this, as education, and he offered every working stiff a free education. And they started winning Nobel Prizes and all kinds of prizes. And everybody wants to come. Now, those people that it was meant for, they're out. It's the rich people that are supposed to be in Harvard buy their way in. And it's just a few years ago, they brought in the administrators, the businessmen, how you can monetize that. And, that's not how you educate. We had a wonderful president, Jay Islin. He knew nothing about business, but he was a great guy. And, and when it just became the school didn't have to be a pay school, but the board of trustees, they were all sort of like they really secretly hated to see an education given away, and they really hated it, and so they worked and worked until they finally won, and the founder says, when this institution does not satisfy its charter, it should just die because there's no need for it anymore. But it doesn't serve its original purpose anymore, and it should. And I think that it should either die. It shouldn't be using Peter Cooper's name, but a lot of prominent scholars owe their education to Peter Cooper, and it's a wonderful thing. And there were only 4 of those type of schools, and they were from all this group were called robber barons, and they and Peter Cooper was maybe it was in that category, but he gave the money back, and he wore frayed sleeves and all that, and he walked the community. So it's a status that makes you rich, not the money. It's a status in your community. My God.